Hey, it's that time of the week again, and I am so happy to be here and to be able to do this coming home event with you. I'm so grateful that you guys are excited about it, and so many of you wrote me that that's a lovely idea and so on. And it's really, for me personally, that is like what's at the core of everything I do. I want us women to come home to our like natural state of being, and it's so important because it affects like everything in our lives, of course. And then of course, as I'm gonna be talking as I'm gonna be talking later, it also affects how we show up for our mother nature, like the ultimate mother of all of us, and how we nurture her and how we show her our love and so on. So it's really important for all of us to be like grounded in that knowledge, in the wisdom, and embody that truth that we are a part of Mother Nature and she's a part of us. And just like those bugs and animals and trees and dogs and whales and all of that is a part of the system, we are also a part of that system. We are not separate from it. There is not like a wall between us and the rest of the nature. We are just inhabiting Mother Nature just like all the other living beings are. So it's really important for us to know that, to notice and to be aware of this through the day and generally through life, to be like, to understand that our true nature belongs in the nature. And it's so easy to forget this because majority of us is living, maybe not you, Sarah, majority of us is living in like big cities, and there are like gray buildings and streets and so on, and those of us who are lucky are able to be connecting with Mother Nature and that more primal level of like going into the nature, hugging the tree, or maybe even like walking barefoot and so on. And that is amazing. But it's so easy to forget that we belong there when we are, all the time in those streets in the streets walking, and the trees are basically a decoration on the side of the road, and we totally can forget that they are a natural part of our world. And just like the flowers, for example, are also there used as a decoration and in our houses and so on. So it's really easy for us when we allow ourselves to forget this knowledge, to forget this truth that we are a part of Mother Nature, as much as she's a part of us, and we are all connected in a beautiful system that works really, really well. And it would work even better if like humans would come to their senses and connect back with our mother and be kinder and more gentle with each other and with all the other living beings. And Mother Nature is that system. She is all of us and everything together. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, that wisdom, so that each of us can take it with us through the day, tomorrow and forever, and have that knowledge that you are a part of it. You are not separate. You don't belong like all the time in those white holes and the buildings and the streets and so on. You also belong there among the trees, walking barefoot in the grass or on the beach, on the sand and so on, and swimming in the sea. And all of that connecting with the nature is a really important part for us, and it's impacting us on such a deep level. It's like it has a great impact on our health in general. Hey, I'm so glad you are here. It has so much impact on everything in our lives, and I want to start with letting you know that healing Mother Nature and connecting with Mother Nature starts with you. It starts with connecting with yourself and healing yourself, because it just so happens that everything that is nourishing for us and that is nurturing our health and so on is also nurturing the health of the system of our Mother Nature, of everything that is around us. And if you know me for anything longer than 5 seconds, you're gonna know that the first step I want to talk about is intuitive eating. That is like at the core of this coming home. Everything else is super important, but intuitive eating and having that healthy, natural relationship with food is like the #1 priority. As my friend summed it up when we were talking about this, she said, like, it's like in life, it's really nice to go out with your friends, it's really nice, you know, to have dinner with your family, it's really nice to read a book, but if your house is on fire, that's what you're gonna be dealing with. That's like #1 priority, like, oh no, my house is on fire, I need to deal with that. And that's why intuitive eating is like the #1 thing that is going to be connecting you with yourself, with your body, that is like a part of the nature, and then also with Mother Nature, because we were all born eating intuitively. No baby was ever in history of babies like, oh, I shouldn't eat that, that food is bad, or no, I shouldn't eat that, I'm chubby. That just doesn't happen. It's not natural for us. For us, it's natural to feel your hunger, honor it, eat something, and feel your fullness, and then like be, oh yeah, now I'm satisfied, and move on with your life. And if you have any small children in your life, or animals even, you can see how that's working for them and how that is a natural way of being for them. Like, I know when my daughter is hungry, there is nothing she's interested in doing except for bothering me, when is the food gonna be done. And I'm sure that you have been doing the same to your parents, like as a child, like, you know, mother is like, oh, lunch is gonna be done in like 10 minutes, and you are like, no, I'm hungry right now. And that is like the natural way of being for us. So of course it's gonna be the first step for us to be connecting with Mother Nature, is connecting with ourselves and realizing that by honoring our natural processes of hunger and satiety, and honoring that also satisfaction hunger, to eat the foods that are pleasurable for you and to have a wide variety of foods and so on, that is all connecting you with yourself and connecting you with your body. Then you can be tuning into your body and listening to what your body as a part of the nature says about that, as a part of your natural processes. And it's like for example, peeing is also a natural process, and you are never like, oh no, I peed for too long, or oh no, I really shouldn't now. You just go, do it, and move on with your life, and that's how the natural process works. And the same needs to be happening with your eating. It needs to be something that's simple and natural, and just one part of your life that is, you know, relaxing for you, that's pleasurable for you and simple. And if it's not, then everything else in life is just, you know, you thinking how, oh my God, I'm so hungry, but I shouldn't eat a piece of cake. I should rather be waiting for dinner and then eat steamed broccoli and wish it was cake. And then, of course, side note, when you are doing that, you are actually stressing your organism, and when your organism is under stress, digestion isn't working, so you aren't even getting the nutrients out of that poor broccoli that you are trying to eat, wishing it was like a donut or something. So that's like not serving you at all. And next week I'm gonna be like talking more about this whole intuitive eating as a foundation of health. But it's really important for you to understand that going back to your body and listening the sensations that your body is giving you about something as primal as hunger is like number one step to going back home and connecting with nature, with you as a part of nature, okay? So that's like number one, house on fire. And it's really important, because when you are then having that healthy relationship with food, and when you understand that eating is natural, that you don't need to suppress your appetite and stuff like that, that your appetite, if you didn't have it, you would die, basically. So it's like there to serve you, to keep you alive, and your body is always working 24/7 just to keep you healthy and alive, so that you can experience everything else in life. And why do we then not honor that? If our body that is so wise to keep your heart beating without you needing ever to think about that, why can't we then just listen when it says, hey, I need food, right? It's a completely natural thing to do. And that's why it's like number one priority of everything else. And then when you are honoring your body in that kind of way, then you can be honoring your body in different kind of ways and seeing like what foods are working well for you, what foods make you maybe feel sluggish, and maybe you notice like when you eat some foods that afterwards, like in an hour, you feel that crash and you don't really feel that good. And you are able then to make those choices from a place of loving yourself and of accepting yourself. And that is how you are nourishing yourself on the true level, okay? And also, when you are having that healthy relationship with food, where food has no moral value, then you are able to be connecting with the Mother Nature on a different kinds of levels. And those of you who have been following me and who are familiar with what I do know, for example, about my program Self-Love Period. And that is also like the whole thing is coming home. It's because everything that you can do for yourself to nurture your hormones and to sync in with your cycle, because we have like two main parts there. One is like hormone nurturing in a non-diet, health at every size approach, with a gentle approach where like you are the boss of the whole process. And then the second part is cycle syncing, when you are seeing how you as a woman are going through the cycle, through the 4 phases, just like Mother Nature, as she has spring and summer and fall and winter, so do we have, you know, every month we are going through follicular phase, ovulation, then luteal phase, and then with our winter, which is menstruation. So it's really amazing how our bodies are tuned in already. We are perfectly tuned in with the nature and with everything that's going on in the nature. And as women, we really have that honor to see that every month going on, how those cycles are changing. Everything in our life is basically changing depending on where you are in your cycle. So to honor that cycle and to see how you can use each of those phases, and you can use it in so many ways, like you can use it to understand yourself better. It's a really, really great teacher, and to understand that as much as you need those phases of doing and being over energized and active, also those phases where you have a bit of lower energy and you want to be resting and so on. Both of those phases are really important, and they make that perfect circle, and they make that cyclical nature of us really useful in a long run, when you are able to be aware of the phase where you are in, and when you are able to honor that phase and be using it for your advantage. And it's amazing, like you can really go deep with this. Like there is a phase, for example, if you want to be planning your shopping day, the phase that you want to be doing that is in follicular phase, because you are so energized and optimistic, and you are gonna be loving all the clothes that you try on, and it's gonna be really amazing experience for you. Versus if you go to that same shopping spree while you are menstruating, and you would much rather be like sitting on the couch, snuggled under the blanket and reading a book. So it's a completely different experience. And side note, if you plan to go on the follicular phase, be mindful that you are also not gonna be caring that much about how much you are paying for stuff. So keep that in mind. But it's really, then it's like this empowering and fun experience. Whereas in that luteal phase, at the end of it, and like menstrual phase, you wouldn't be enjoying it that much, because in those phases there are other things that you could be enjoying more and being more aligned with, and then you would be more productive in those kind of things. So that is also a part where you, by connecting with yourself and with your cycle and with how you are working as a woman, how our bodies are designed to work, how that is basically connected with Mother Nature and her cycles. And it just shows this beautiful example of how we are just a little part of her, you know, tiny little versions of her, of our Mother Nature. And that is for me so fascinating and amazing, and that's why like I teach this, and I've been researching this for years, because it's so amazing that as women, you know, we always have learned that period and luteal phase is all like PMS, and you are all a moody bitch, and then you are having cramps and want to just pop a pill and, you know, make it all go away. But there is actually a lot of value in each of those phases, and it's really amazing when we tune in, when we listen to our body, how much more we can accomplish versus just doing this linear thing, ignoring our feminine nature and going into like this expecting ourselves to perform at the same level all through the month, even though like we are completely different women. Like our brain structure changes up to 25% during the cycle, so you are like literally not the same kind of woman in 1 week versus the other week. So it's really important to tune into this and honor it and enjoy it, because it's really amazing when you are learning from that cycle and being in your natural state, and you are also then able to see what kind of actions you want to be taking as far as like nurturing your hormones go, because that is also happens to be connected with Mother Nature. For example, there are a lot of like cleaning products and cosmetics and so on that are filled with the hormonal disruptors. And those are like fine if you are, you know, that I'm not the one to be restricting you in anything, and that's how I have this like gentle approach where you are the boss. Like if you have some favorite shampoo that has like hormonal disruptors, I'm not gonna tell you to ditch your favorite shampoo. That would be what I call a lifestyle diet, and I'm not doing that. But if there are things that you know have those hormonal disruptors, and if you don't, you may want to join Self-Love Period, because I talk there about like those specific ingredients and so on, and also like what you can then swap it for, right? And those products that you don't really care for, like, I don't know, maybe you are like not emotionally attached to your cleaning product, so that would be a great place to start, because like if you are washing your floor, for example, with those products that have those hormonal disruptors, you are, first of all, it's like not sustainable for Mother Nature, it's not ecological, so it's hurting her, and it's also hurting you. Hey! It's also hurting you because it has negative effect on your hormones and on your cycle, and then for your health, of course, because your cycle, healthy menstrual cycle, is a fifth vital sign of health. Like, it's that important. So this is also a great way where you can see how you can be more in tune and how you can honor yourself more. And by honoring yourself more, you are also honoring Mother Nature more, because of course the products that are better for us, those natural kind of products, the natural kind of cosmetics and so on, are also of course better for our Mother Nature, right? It makes perfect sense. Other than that, it's really, really amazing, for example, when you look at the plants that you can have at home. I'm not saying like, I don't know if you have like a garden where you can do all of that gardening and connecting with nature in that kind of way, that would be amazing. It's like my dream, and if you know me, you know that part of that is have the goats around. But if you are living like in an apartment and that's not something that you want to be doing or so, you can still have those plants around your house. You can still have them, and they are also amazing for your hormones because they are acting as air purifiers. So they clean the air in your house, making you healthier, your hormones balanced, and it's amazing. And they are pretty and they are like a great way to connect with Mother Nature, because it's basically having a part of that, you know, forest, of that wilderness, of that outside, also to have those plants at home and be able to, like, wherever you turn, at least for me, to see at least one of them. And it really brings so much joy. And it's also, there is some research that like it lowers the migraine, so it's really important, and it's a great way to honor Mother Nature, like to have plants around your home, right? And another thing that you can do as far as the plants go, and if you can have like a garden with veggies and so on, that's amazing. But at least you can have some little pots with like basil and those things that you can put on, I don't know, oregano and so on, rosemary. Those are all plants that you can easily have at home, and that are, you can then just cut and use in your food. And that's also another way that you can be easily connecting with Mother Nature, just being mindful of, you know, when you have some food, what does it take for that food to get on your plate? It took like all sorts of people working and like nurturing that seed to grow into the plant, and then it traveled to you. Hopefully not for long. That would be like where that local grocery shopping really can be like your way of honoring Mother Nature, if that is something that you can do. I'm not saying like that you must do anything of that. For example, for me, I don't have a farmer's market anywhere near me, and we do have it like once a week far away, so that's like not something I can do personally. But for example, if you do have a farmer's market, if that's something that you can do, or if you have like organic shop with food. There you can go there for do your grocery shopping. At least for some foods, you don't need to go like all whole foods and organic. I don't do that kind of things. But in those little ways that feel good to you, you can be honoring Mother Nature just by being mindful and by being grateful, because every single food that we eat, it took so much effort and it took so much nurturing for that food to come to your plate and to be there for you to nourish your body and to be like tasty and awesome, and for you to just enjoy your lunch and connect with your family if you are eating with them and so on, because food is of course also like how we connect as people, and that's one more reason why dieting sucks. But it's really great to be mindful of that, how even that simple food, that, I don't know, soup that you are eating, took so much time and so much effort from so many different people, from, you know, ultimately from our Mother Nature and her fertile soil and so on, for you to be able to enjoy it. And it's really amazing when you stop and think every day. You know that I'm all about sharing those actions that are small but that are gonna have an impact on you forever. I'm not like, we live in a world that's all like about this instant gratification and we need to get everything right now, but unfortunately that's not how any of this works. So it's about those actions that and those little moments that you are like stacking up on a daily basis, and then when you look at the big picture, you are living that balanced, sustainable lifestyle that feels really good to you, and parts of it are also honoring Mother Nature. And I say parts because it doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to be doing anything perfectly. Perfect doesn't exist. So just ditch that whole idea. It's not about being perfect and like moving off grid into the mountains and like not having clothes and stuff. It's about those little actions that are like making big impact when you are stacking them all together, right? That's like, for example, why I personally wouldn't recommend anyone going vegan if they are not like super excited about that. If they are, then it's of course a great choice, then it's an intuitive choice, right? So that is then the right choice for people to make. But we often see those people like trying to shame and guilt everyone into becoming vegans and be all like spreading that, you know, guilt and calling people out and so on. And ultimately, of course, that doesn't make anyone vegan, and ultimately then those people are like so resistant that they aren't even willing to try a little bit more plants, you know. So what I would suggest is instead of going vegan, which I wouldn't suggest to anyone, but instead of like doing those extreme things, for example, you can see how you can make one meal of the week be like vegetarian, or see like what foods do you enjoy that you can be like eating a bit more veggies or you know, plant-based foods, and then maybe a bit smaller portion of meat, like once a week. And then when you stack that up through a lifetime, that makes so much more difference than being like all in that guilting and shaming other people and, you know, not being allowed to eat half of the foods because they have animal products in them and so on. So for me, that's like how I would go. And then you start there and then you see how you want to be doing it in the future. Of course, there is nothing wrong with like changing the way you are doing stuff. That is also natural, because the only constant in nature is change. So we cannot expect ourselves to like do it one time, rigidly like this and then do it forever the same way. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't feel expensive, and it ultimately doesn't feel good, okay? So those would be like the things that you can be doing through the lifetime, just as we talked about last week with the journey through her story. I talked about those put things that you can write down and put in your wallet and be reminding yourself about it through the lifetime. And here is the same situation. I don't want you to be like coming here and listening to this whole thing and then you go out and forget about it, because that's not gonna be serving you very much, and it's not gonna be serving Mother Nature very much at all. So it's much better if you take like one smallest action that you feel good about, and then you do that action through the lifetime. That's how you're gonna be making true, real, big changes, okay? So, I wanted this time to try to be shorter than with the journey through her story. So I wanted this the healing meditation that we are gonna be having to have it now too, because if we are spreading it too much, I don't know, I don't want to be taking that much of your time, because I could be talking here forever about this, but it's not useful if you are like getting bored with me, okay? So now that you have all those ideas and that you understand how healing yourself and taking loving care of yourself and accepting yourself and acting about yourself first of all from that place of love and peace, how you are ultimately also nurturing Mother Nature in that way without going and doing any extreme crazy stuff, okay? And now that you have those ideas, I want to be going into the meditation where we are gonna be like anchoring those ideas, and maybe you will learn something else that you want to be doing and so on. It's like it's gonna be an open space for you to see what else comes up, okay? Are you ready? Give me some smileys or something that I know. That would be nice. And I'm really hoping that you are enjoying this, because it's really, I have been thinking a lot about like how do I connect this intuitive eating that I teach and cycle syncing and hormone nurturing, and I realized that all of it together is this coming home, because both of those things are just different perspective of us coming home to our true nature and honoring that nature instead of trying like to push through and to willpower against like eating a cookie and so on. Hey! So let us just take a moment to slide from this whole talking and information kind of part of the come home event, and to feel a bit more relaxed. I'm so happy you are here. To feel a bit more relaxed and to be ready to just dive into that healing and dive into our visualization for tonight and see how it's gonna be really impactful for you, for how you want to be showing up in the future and how you are feeling right now about connecting with Mother Nature, and most of all connecting with yourself. So I want you to start with some deep breaths and just close your eyes. And just relax. Feel your body relaxing. And as you feel yourself relaxing, just feel how energy is flowing from the universe through you. It's filling you up, and through your feet it's going deep, deep into Mother Nature. Notice how you are already feeling connected. It's so easy. It's so easy to be connected with our Mother. Now, when you are ready, I would like you to, in your mind's eye, to start going up. You are gonna be leaving your room. You are gonna be leaving your home. Notice how you see your home from up there. You see your city. You are noticing the nature in your city. You are noticing the trees. Maybe you can even see the flowers. And you are going up, more up. I want you to go up as much as you need to be able to see our Earth, the size of a large ball in front of you, in a way that feels good to you. And I want you to notice, how does she feel? What do you see? What energy do you feel around her? Maybe you are noticing some fear. Maybe you are noticing polluted air even. Maybe you are noticing how it all feels so separate, and yet when you look at it, it's all connected. Notice, how does she feel? And now I want you to look up and see that the Earth is just a belly of our Mother Nature. You notice her arms holding on to Earth. It's a belly. It's a beautiful, big, big, round belly. And notice her face. I want you to notice her eyes. She's looking at you with so much love. After all, she is a mother of us all. Mother of all mothers. And I want you to look her in the eyes and just tell her that you are sorry. You are sorry for all the times that you have unintentionally caused her harm. And you are sorry for all the times it's gonna happen again. And tell her how sorry you are that the whole humanity has forgotten where we belong. We have been destroying our home. And as you apologize, let yourself feel whatever comes up. Let yourselves feel. You know that all emotions are valuable. All emotions are good. And the only way is through them. Let yourselves feel. And now I want you to listen to her answer. She's telling you that you are forgiven. She loves you. You are her child. Everyone else is her children. And mother's love is unconditional. Notice her loving eyes and her gentle smile as she's telling you that it's okay. She forgives you, she forgives all of us, and she loves us. And feel that love that's coming from her. You are so loved. And notice that she's waiting for you with the open arms. And you are a little child going to the arms of your mother, to the loving arms and the warm embrace of unconditional love. A love that keeps giving. And I want you to just relax into that embrace. Let her hug you. Let her take you. You are safe. In fact, you are safer than ever in the love of the mother of us all. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that no matter what you have done, no matter what you do, no matter what you will do, you are loved unconditionally, forever? Just let yourself wallow in that love and feel how you are a little baby of our mother. And you know how much mothers love their babies. And now I would like you to look up to her, look her in the eyes, and tell her that you love her. Tell her that she is so important. You love her so much. Thank her for giving you life, giving you food, water, air, home. Everything we have ever been given, it's because of her. Thank her. And now I'd like you to check in with yourself and tell her what are your intentions, what are the things that you want to be doing to show her some of the love that she's been showing us. Doesn't need to be anything big. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. Just tell her. You may tell her that you're gonna be a better plant mother. You're gonna be watering them and not forget them. Or you may want to tell her that you will be taking more walks in the nature as an opportunity to further connect with her, to learn from her. And just let your intuition guide you. Whatever it is that you need to be doing, it's perfect, it's enough. It's enough, and she loves you. And now I want you to ask her, what is her vision for our planet? What's her vision for her belly? For all of us? And listen very carefully and notice how her vision is so filled with love, with abundance. It's beautiful. And now ask her if she has something to tell you. Is there something that is your job on this earth? To nurture her, to nurture yourself. What is she saying? Just let yourself hear everything. And feel how much love is there in her words, in her advice for you. And now, when you have a clear vision of what our home needs to become, and when you have a clear vision of what's your role in it, what you can be doing in a way that feels perfect for you, it feels so joyful, it feels amazing. Remember all of that. Take all of that wisdom and put it deep, deep into your heart, so that no matter what life brings you, no matter how distracted you may find yourself, you still have that wisdom and the truth locked deep within your heart, and it's so easy to connect. After all, connection is your natural state. You were born connected. You were born with all of this wisdom. It's all here within you, and it's available for you. And every time you feel yourself forgetting, you can simply take a deep breath and remember, it's so easy. You are always connected. just take a deep breath and it's there, like magic. After all, you are magic. And now, with all the wisdom that you carry, with all the love that's around you and in you and everywhere you go, you are surrounded by love from our mother. You can't escape it, even if you wanted to. Everywhere you go, she loves you unconditionally. So much. She gives you so much because she loves you. With all of that, you can just notice yourself sliding back. Sliding back into her belly, into your city, into your room, and there you are in your body. Let yourself ground yourself in your body, move a little bit, see how you now feel. How does it feel to be connected? And hey, I'm sorry I didn't say anything. We were in the middle of the meditation, so I think it's gonna be best for you to like watch the replay, because like now we can just share our experiences, and I invite you all to share how you enjoyed it and how does it feel to know that you are connected. You have always been connected. We just sometimes forget it a little bit, right? And it's natural. That's also natural. Like, yeah, it's really amazing. I enjoyed this so much. I know you're gonna love it. And just remember that just like, you know, we as children with our mothers, we sometimes forget that we are like connected to them, and maybe your own child, if you have one, you feel like they sometimes forget that you are like the source of unconditional love for them, and that's also natural. So when you find yourself in those moments when you feel disconnected, you can always just reach back, and she's always there for you. And just like you as a mother or you as a child know that that connection cannot be broken, you can know now that your connection to Mother Nature also can't be broken. It's everywhere around you. The love that she has for us is everywhere around us, and it's the proof of it is that, you know, we still have earth. You know, that's like the trees are still growing, we have abundance of food, we have so much in this world given to us. We have air, we have water, it's all given to us from our mother, even though we have been basically destroying her for a while now, right? And she's still here loving us and giving us back, and it's amazing. And you always have that ability to just take a deep breath and connect back with the truth that we are nature, she's a part of us, and it's amazing. It's the most beautiful thing in life to be connected to her and to know that we are a part of her, of this unconditional love that you can see everywhere around us. Okay? So I want you to write down what came up for you during this meditation, like those things that you have been learning about, what you can be doing and so on. I want you to write it down just so that you don't forget it when you get distracted and maybe you feel like you've lost that connection, you can just go back, and it's always easy to reconnect when you see it. This is how amazing this felt and how connected it felt, and then you can easily go back into that. Okay, so wow. I really enjoy doing this. I really hope you guys enjoy it too, because it brings me so much joy to be able to give you this space to be connecting back with the truth of who you are, who we all are, and the truth that we are all that unconditional love, and there is nothing more powerful than that, and the truth that just by taking care of yourself, starting with intuitive eating. I don't want anyone here to be like dieting and having that disordered eating habits, because that's what's disconnecting you from Mother Nature, as we talked earlier. So that's like very important. And then from that, all of these other things like syncing in with your cycle and nurturing your hormones and so on, all of those things are really important, and they are the ways that we, by healing ourselves and by being the best version of ourselves, are automatically also healing our Mother Nature. Okay, you are so powerful, and this is amazing how much impact we can have by simply tuning in and listening to our bodies and what feels good to us. That is amazing. Okay, I want you to remember that. And next week we are gonna be talking about intuitive eating as a foundation of health, and it's gonna be awesome, and I want you to be there. Like, you don't have a choice. I'm joking, but really it would mean so much to me. I love having you all here, and it makes me so happy. Okay, and I hope that you receive value from this as well. Okay, so see you next week, and remember that all you need to be doing to connect is just take a deep breath and remember that you already are connected. Okay, see ya.